Hello everyone. Today we're in Strasburg PA to see 90's return after her 1472. After riding the train with Railway Lad 23, aka the British one, we saw her running around her train at the station before we headed to the National Toy Train Museum. This is my first, well, technically second, time seeing 90's since 2023, where I saw her very last day of running. This isn't her first day running, however, as I couldn't get out here for the first day she ran on Wednesday. But it's Sunday the 13th, and depending on who you talk to, it's still her first week of running. After sprinting out of the Toy Train Museum just to realize that 90 came early, we headed down to Fairview Crossing to see 90 reversing on her next run. While waiting, a bunch of stupid, I don't know if they were reference or what they were, but they were just standing on the tracks taking selfies with the train as it approached. Thankfully, 90 was far enough away so that they didn't cause a problem. For 90's return, Railway Lad 23 trusted me to put his phone underneath the train. As 90 approached, I could hear her letting off steam, and I just had to hope that she wouldn't let any steam on his phone.
Sage Train, if my phone dies, I'm going to kill you.
Well, I'm dead. Then we had lunch at Casey Jones's restaurant before going back to see 90. Ninety was really putting off some smoke as she came up the hill. At this rate, her brand new paint not gonna stay new for long. Then we headed down to Espen Shade Crossing to see 90 on her way back. This was the first time we saw 90 coming forward, and it was definitely the best shot of the day. Of course, I decided to put my phone under 90, and the way I put it, I used a metal support beam that I think separates the tracks or something, I'm not sure, but I put it up against that, which I've done before. But this time, it decided not to work, and my phone was pointed up at the sky. Yippee. Here's the amazing result of my under the train shot. But don't you worry, I got a better one later. Speaking of later, we headed down to Cherry Hill Crossing to see 90 passing the newly restored Cherry Hill Station, which is more like a watchman's shack, but, you know.
doing? We shall never know.
Since this was 90's last run of the day, I decided to go all out for this one. I had my old phone under the train, my normal phone on my tripod, and my drone up in the air. I had to deal with 3 cameras all at once, without crashing my drone, without having my phone break, and without my other phone falling over. This was a lot to deal with, but I somehow made it work.